Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new Share Your Minutes video. And this time, I'm going to do again live. And I will talk.
Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with
And I will talk about what you see, the miniatures you see here, the miniatures that have been shared in Victor's painting workshop. So I will give my feedback. We are going to go through these minis, and the purpose of this video is just to share with all of you the work of the viewers of my channel and the people that just collaborate is sharing the work in Victor's painting workshop. So I will go through the Facebook site, and I will talk about what we see there. Okay, so let me start sharing my screen, and I hope this time I do it well. Okay, seems that this time I did the right thing. Let's go to Victor. The chat, in case someone is watching this directly, I will try to look the chat from time to time, but I cannot guarantee that I will be looking at the chat and answering the question. So let's go, and I will start with sharing with you the paint job of the people that is in Victor's painting workshop. Okay, so first of all, here we have this from Richard Granger, and these are some Space Marines. These are from Conquest, so the new magazine, and I guess they looks like I don't remember exactly. So these are the Space Marines from. They are painted quite nicely, and intercessors. So these are looks like intercessors of the Primaris Marines. Quite a nice, clean paint job, and it looks quite good. So, and the eagle also is well. The painting is very clean. The eagle is the Aquila is painted quite well. So not much to say here. Also the symbol, this looks like a decal. So yeah, I don't see much to say. The only thing, the blue, if you want, you can start in some places start working on doing some additional highlights, especially on the shoulder pads. But I know that this is quite complex to do the highlights on the shoulders. But normally what I do, if you want to do some accents, is just do highlight, making, for example, here the L shape up here at the top, do a brighter zone. But so on, quite a nice and clean paint job. I like what I see here. So let's go up. I think some of these were shared at the end of the previous video, but I will go through them anyway, so you can also, in case I have forgot. But I'm pretty sure that I talk about this one. And as I said before, I like a lot how the metallics are working here. I like a lot these metallics here with the blue shade, also this with the green shade, and especially the weapons. So the only thing I find difficult is I think that it's missing. Maybe the light is not the best, but it's missing some definition on this area. It's difficult to see what is on that area of the miniature. We see from different angle. We see here the helmet, but the face that have to be one of the focal points of this miniature is not easy to see because it's hiding inside of the helmet. I also like this color, but if I have to give some build-up, I think the face of the guy that is here, it's not very well. It's not very visible. So this is a miniature from Bruce Lim, and yeah, and I think this will be. To be fair, I'm not. It's a Shaggot for Beast of Chaos, so the new, one of the last book for Age of Sigmar. So let's go to the next one, and here we see some War Machine Quicks. The base is very original with these water effects. It looks that he's working on metallics and also putting this type of bronze cooperish color as a second metallic. I will say that in some areas, yeah, and then we have this ghostly green in some parts. Okay, we see here. I think you can, if you want this to look ghostly or OSL, you can increase the accents there. Okay, and you can add a little bit of rust maybe on the Cooper part to add a little bit of greenish rust. So on looks quite nice, and to be fair, I'm not very familiar with this type of these miniatures. Okay, so yeah, quite nice paint job as well. It's a simple color scheme, but I think it's working very well with this type of looks like sea engines. No, it looks like they are going on swamps or on top of water. So let's keep looking at that. I will focus on the finished work. Okay, here we see work from Ezran Jovanovic, and we are going to see quite some work from him. So he's really very active, and it's really a good painter. So these are a type of samurais. I don't know if he's explained. Yeah, this is a badge of samurai on foot. So these are samurais with the green clothes. I'm not sure if, yeah, I think he told me that the banners have to be decorated with decals, something like that, because they look quite flat, to be fair. But the work on the armor is really, really nice. Okay, you see very well defined all the different plates, all the different details, and the green. This green is quite nice, and I like as well that the green is not always the same. That is adding some variety without breaking the scheme, and the red scarves are also quite a nice touch. So here we have this looks a guy that is sitting on the battlefield. The good one, you can see the details are quite well done, and these are more with a terracotta type of colors. Okay. Yes, there are different units. Again, the armor, and they have the coherency, although they have different colors. Driving through the armor and the scarves. And here we have the blue samurais. Okay, quite a nice paint job. More blue samurais. Here we have them all. I see also the base, like it have a shading, depending on the color of the samurai. They have a blue shading on the base, and this is with greenish. I don't know if this is done in purpose. I'm curious. This is a curious touch. I was not expecting. Okay. This was the first picture. See. Okay, no questions. I hope yeah, it looks like I'm broadcasting, so should be okay. Let's go to the next one. We have more samurais, more color. These are more colorful. These are samurais on horse. Again, although there is some colorful details, they look quite coherent as a unit, thanks to the black armor. Okay, here we see more detail. I will say maybe the gold is looking a little bit rough. The horse, if something you need, I will improve here is the horse. The horse that especially this horse was not looking very. Looks, yeah. I don't know how to say it. Look, needs some additional highlights. I'm not sure about the eyes. So I will. The horses are looking less complete than the riders. But this is looking much better. This horse is looking much better. Okay, maybe it was the color. This I will add as well some additional highlights if I was you, but most likely this is what's called a commission, and yeah, this all depends on what is the work that you are paid for and the quality that you are paid for. But they look quite good, and yeah, I guess the client will be happy with that. Okay, they have their own each one are individual, and at the same time they keep quite well the coherency of the unit. This guy is the most extreme, the most different one. Okay, so quite a nice collection of samurais. This is with the turquoise banner. Okay, and here we have the full force of the samurais. It's colorful. It's a colorful. I'm curious to know why the bases have the shading of the color of the clothes. If this is on purpose or not. It's curious. This is with terracotta. This is with blue base. So, and here we have the infantry is looking. Yeah, it looks like the samurais are more the nobles, and they have their own colors, while the troops they go with a common color for them all. You see here we see a banner and this guy. So it's quite interesting thing to see. Okay, and we have look all the pictures. Let's go to the next one. This we're going to see later pictures with better progress later on. So again, here we see very fast and efficient paint job. So this is really highlighted by panels. Okay, and I think yeah, I say it's nothing special, but what I want to talk here is, although this is nothing special, this pops up a lot on the battlefield. It's very interesting how he approached doing terrain, because this is going to be very visible on the battlefield. And yeah, and I have seen this terrain is quite good just for in terrain. I guess all this, mainly all this is made with a touch of airbrush, okay? But then you need to do anyway the rims and all these metallic things. So it's, although it can be fast, it can have some detail work as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. It was quite interesting to see that. More work from Esdan. Sorry. Here we have the Dream Queen and his minions, her minions, I want to say. It's quite interesting how Erdan is approaching here this miniature. So it's keeping black for most of the clothes except the Brim Queen that goes on white. But then we see he decided to go for this type of quite strong green for faces and hands, for the parts that it was or should be like skin, no, or the ghostly skin. So it's quite interesting to take out here we see the roses are on very deep purple, almost looking like black roses. And I think she's looking great. What I will do is, maybe the transition is very fast here, and then there is a lot of blue. Maybe I will add some more white on the blue area, or reduce the blue, or go darker on the blue area. It looks quite almost too. Okay, and then on the white, I have the same feeling. So there is a nice transition here, but then the richness of I'm missing the richness on this area and on this area of the clothes. The clothes is, you can go a little bit shading this with grays. Maybe the picture is not making justice. And then here on the blue, maybe I will add more lighter blue going down. This guy I like more. You see, you have add this lighter blue in this area, so you have and break a little bit better the uniformity of the blue. Also, this combination looks very nice. And then, yeah, still curious to see this green skin. It's not the direction I would have taken, but yeah. Again, here showing the shape of the face. Here on the sword it looks good, but I will add some browns to show the rust of the sword. Again, the blue here is edge highlighted, but I'm missing some highlights on the parts that are more that's not the part that does not have the edges. And this looks better. Okay, you can go even lighter at the bottom to increase the ghostly effect. And here you can add a little bit wide maybe at the bottom. But they are quite nicely. They are quite done. It's just feedback to improve in case you're looking for improvement. And I already recommend to him. He wanted to go for this very strong highlight on the black. I was suggesting to soften, but yeah, if you have a style like that, then later on it's difficult to change the style. At least for me, I have the same. I do the same. When I start with some type of technique, I don't want to change in the middle of the army. So quite a very interesting painting job here of Nighthounds, and we are going to see more of them from Erzan. And Erzan, as I said, he was very active, and he really put a lot of work here. So here we have some terrain. Again, I guess the airbrush is helping a lot here, but it looks very, very nice, this terrain. We have the edges, the fence line, okay? And then we have this type of shooting buildings or cannon buildings, so really very nice. And here we have this again. This is great paint. This have to look great on the tabletop. Okay, so this is really nice terrain to where to play. Then we are going to see this later on. So I will. This is from Eskidwill. I will go later on, and we are going to see, because I know that he is putting pictures later of this. Then we have from Opi Chagar this miniature, and this miniature I find it quite interesting. I think he told me what miniature it is. Let me see, because I asked. No. Yeah, it's a different style of orc. So it's a type of orc with a very fitting style. And he went for a yellow skin. Okay, but I like how the armor looks like. It looks really rough, the armor. It looks strong, it looks metal. It looks really, yeah, I like how all this armor looks like. And I think he managed to sell the metal effect, that is going to be something heavy and really difficult to penetrate, right? It looks, I really like how the metal looks like with this brownish, purplish type of shading. I think it looks great, and you can see the also important point is that you can see all the different metal plates of the armor on this guy. So it's really nice. And then the yellow skin. I also like it. I don't have much to add here. I think it's really a nice. It's an interesting miniature. Okay, nice paint job. Thanks for sharing, Opi. Let's go to the next one. More terrain from Erzdan, and I have to thank him for sharing so much terrain. I like here a lot this blue. This very soft blue on these parts, it adds a lot. Looks quite nothing, but this is just a small, this soft shading here, it's adding a lot. Again, for being just terrain, they are really nicely painted and quite good standard. Let's see this closer. Okay. Maybe on the lights, you can go a little bit bright, even brighter in the middle to sell this sensation of OSL. This green looks great. And there is a lot of detail and painted here. So really, they are painted really to a very nice standard. Also this with this metal. Yeah, I guess hit by brush metal to give the sensation of being a little bit scratch and the paint being rubbed off. And here, okay, but yeah, it's quite nice. And here we have the cannon of the Aegis defense line. This is the Icarus laser cannon. Glass cannon. And this is like a communication thing. So nice terrain painted here, Esrodan. I will not go through my miniatures. More terrain, as I said, and this marbling and rock paint, this great as well here. Okay, all this, the marbling is nicely done. Yeah, here. The only thing I will add, maybe you can add a little bit more of weathering. If these are statues that are there for long, you can add a little bit more of weathering. You can weather them all. Anyway, they look awesome. They look really great. Okay, then we have some ruins. We're quite fast, but they really looking great. It's a pleasure to see all these paint jobs. Going up. Here we have this. This is a color test from Jim Cairns. And here I'm quite curious. I guess he's testing the uniform. But this color scheme looks very ghostly. I don't know if this is if Jim was looking for that, but it looks really ghostly, this color scheme you have. I'm curious to know how a full army will look like with this color scheme. Quite curious. Okay, it looks like I think he's then adding the gold. Just I would like to see a little bit more details, but it's quite interesting. This and with these green eyes, I guess he goes for a ghost army. If I have to say something. Quite curious to see that. Okay, just going to check one thing. Okay. We'll go up. Here we have again more Ninehounds from Esrodan. And these are, I don't know, this looks like a type of banshees, but with a very weird, and they go with scimitars, but are part of, I don't know these guys. Yes, these are banshees with, I don't know if this is a conversion or, then I love this guy. This is one of my favorites guy. Again, here I will highlight more, I will put almost white on these skulls there. But the transition is nicely done. So I like a lot the color combination. Then the metallics. And the metallics you can also add a little bit of red. And this is more Ninehounds. Yeah, they look great. And again, what I said before, on the black, he decided to go for a very stark highlights. These banshees, I didn't know that the banshees have this type of arms. Or maybe this is a conversion. I'm not sure. This is also quite. This is from Lucio. Okay. Lucio's workshop. And yeah, it looks. I like a lot the look like of this guy. Maybe I will have this green here. What is not still for me not working perfectly. Maybe it's the OSL. Okay, and the problem I see with this OSL is that the intensity is not fading out. Okay, maybe you have to increase a little bit more the intensity closer and fade out more the intensity, because it's not. It looks more like the armor is greenish than really the effect of the light. Okay, this is great. All the rest is so on. The paint job is really nice. It's a quite good color scheme. Maybe the problem is that the armor is so light in color that it's difficult to make an OSL on top of a light color. Normally, it's difficult to create the sensation. But yeah, I like a lot the colors combination here. Maybe the only thing that is not working that well for me is maybe this, I don't know if it's this blue or do for a different type of blue. I have one color too much maybe in this method, or maybe this red I will take it out and put another color on this part of the weapon. But the painting techniques is very nice. The armor is very nicely highlighted. Looks very good. The OSL, I think, what we were looking here is OSL. You have to go brighter, closer to the source of the light. As I said, there will be more pictures later on. This is from Kim Arne Larsen. And these are from Mantic. These are some undead from Mantic. So this looks like skeletons. Okay, they look very Roman. Okay, these are some zombies. I like this guy. It's missing a little bit, a small portion of him. Yeah, they look nasty. Maybe. Yeah. And this, I think these are ghouls, if I'm not wrong. These are the ghouls from Mantic. He's trying to put some blood effects. And looks like, yeah, these are more skeletons. These guys definitely, they look like they have some, a little bit romance. Look. Here we have the skeletons again, and I think I have to look them all. Yeah. Difficult to say. I will, maybe the red, you can go with dirty red, so go to browns in some areas to make it look dirt, and then go adding more contours on the red maybe will help here. But the paint job is quite good and is good for tabletop. Is more than enough. And now we have from Esran, he started painting some Game of Thrones, and we start with the mountain. Okay, and yeah, I like a lot the face, the yellow, and then the metallic. Yeah, it looks perfect. So, more from Esran. He's really said, and this is the one that I asked him. Why I think I make the question why so stark on the black, and then yeah, here it needs to go lighter maybe, but they look good. They look good, and he likes to add some red. Okay, can we see? These are nice. And these are the I have missed this. Yeah. Nice color transitions as well. Okay, this one, for example, I like more how you transition the colors. Okay, the horses maybe you can add some additional highlights. They look a little bit flat, especially this one here, for example, this part here. I will add some more highlights because you can. I know that you can see from the rest of the video that you are working very well on the highlights and the color transitions. So I will just add a little bit more here. But they are really nice. It's a nice force. We are back to the beginning. More from Earthland, and these are the Game of Thrones. And here we have some of the Gnome, the Lannister family, right? So we have the two Lannister brothers and the father. Very royal, this red. And I love the Gnome with the beard. Okay. I will say that here the dry brush is too evident on this miniature. And this is the problem. This is another thing. If you want to do black hair, when you start adding gray, you go very easily to grayish hair. And this is a problem when you try to do black hair. I like a lot the face of this guy. I think it's nicely done. I think this is maybe the favorite of the three. This is also very good. But my favorite of these three will be the gnome. Skin tones very nicely, all of them. Okay. Just this one, I will say that maybe the dry brush is too evident. Again, you see more progress on this guy. This is a very interesting miniature, and I want to talk about this later on when we have better pictures. These are more Game of Thrones. These are the two. I don't remember the name. No, the guy is the High Sparrow and Pycelle. Okay. I love this white color on this cream color. I think it's great, and the beard. This guy, maybe this is one of my favorites from the Game of Thrones that Earthdan can have painted. Now, Grumpy Guy Gaming and Earthdan is the same person, but I love this guy. This is also good, but this is much better. I think here the white is really nice. Okay. Now we have Rose Bolton and on two different schools, and Ramsay Snow. Rose Bolton, Ramsay Snow. This guy looks quite creepy. These I like these things here, like helps to sell the idea of a cloth that is a piece of textile. Okay, and yeah. Here it looks quite. Maybe here, I don't know if these are some brights of the light. But they look great. Again, what I said, doing the black hair is always a pain. But here, I think it's better that what you try to do is just go very extreme highlight in some areas, keeping the other parts dark. If you see black hair, does not have gray. What have is a very bright point because the hair is a little bit glossy. Okay, so you will always have this type of bright areas on hair, and this is how it's the best, the easiest, or the way to make the black hair to look black. Okay, nice miniatures. A lot of Game of Thrones as well. And here we have this is the first time he was sharing these miniatures, the first finished one, and yeah, and he was thinking that he's missing green on the steed, on the flying steed, and yeah, it's very contrasting. I like a lot this type of green with purple and this undefined color. I think this is a very nice. It's very nicely worked and looks great, especially looking from the front. Also, transparencies on the skin and the clothes. So this is looking the rider I really love. Not well the creator she's riding. The problem is that it's very contrasting, and I like that. So I don't see any problem on. To be fair, he was thinking that maybe he have to add green in other parts of the creator. I'm not sure if this is really needed because you have green here on Yeah, he was thinking to add green at the extreme of the wings to compensate a little bit more the color. But these methods, they look awesome. And I like a lot this green purple type of combination. I think it's working really well. Also, this creature that looks almost to be in fire. We are going to see more of this. This is from Eskidville, and yeah, and I really like. And then yeah, I also want to thank you for joining the community. And although you're writing in French, don't feel yeah, please keep posting because I really enjoy your paint jobs. This is from Clayton Beaver. He's a very good painter as well. He was I was knowing him for the Elder, but he painted this Land Rider, and yeah, he went for a clean job as well here. So yeah, the only thing I was telling him, maybe you can add a little bit of edge highlight. It's a lot of work, but I think like that is looking good as well. Okay. I'm not convinced on this damage here. I don't know if this is really needed there. And if you want to do this damage, I will suggest you add a little bit of black or color around the metallic, because it's not working that well. Okay, but yeah, nice clean paint job on a Land Rider. Well, yeah, that's good. Going up. Now it's from Justin Berman. He was painting some orc boys. Okay. The skin. I'm curious. The skin looks really more jade than. Yeah, he went for a very peculiar color for the skin of this orc. I don't think it's finished. Okay, I guess this looks like work in progress. The axe does not look good finished. The pistol does not look finished. Maybe it's only for the skin. I like the taking the nails and the teeth yellow. The color of the skin is very curious. Here we have like I will call it yeah. I forgot the name now. Isabella von Karsten on a big base. I think it's really nice, this composition. Very autumn. And yeah, the face looks good. I would like to maybe some shading here, and here this looks too stark. This white things here, this thing here inside, this type of clothes, they look great. I think this is very nicely done. On the red, this I'm not sure this is working well there. And here on the hair, maybe I will add some shading because it looks quite flat on this picture. But yeah, I like the combination red black. It goes very well. The glossy of the blood here looks good, and the eyes, the glowing eyes or the magical eyes also or the painted eyes, they are looking great. The only thing is on the red, I'm not convinced about this super bright red on the front. The red, I think, can be, you can add a little more transitions, and you can highlight the red going to pink, or you can highlight the red also going to orange. Or the other option is you go deeper on red, and then you go for green zone almost on some areas, and then you can highlight the red with red, and not making the red to trend to any other color. So the red sometimes can be tricky if you start with a very bright red. If you want to go for some more bloody red, you can start with a quite darker color, and then from there you highlight with reds. It's a nice composition, and I like a lot these leaves there, so it looks very autumn. From Earthdan, more Game of Thrones. And here we have Lord Varys, Petyr Baelish, and Theon Greyjoy. Have nice, I think it's a free hand on this guy. So yeah, they look nice, and they look to. I like the work on the purple. I think it's looking great. Yeah, it's a very nice touch. It's a very nice addition to add this decoration on the purple part. And this guy also looks very good. Here on the skin, I like the non-shaved face. I think this is helping on the image, but the skin looks sometimes, I don't know, looks some contrast too stark. It does not look a lifelike skin. I get that this is not a very healthy human, but looks like a zombie more than unhealthy. Again, these are excellent paint jobs. I'm just giving this feedback in case someone wants to improve. Let me see. We have. Yeah. Hello, the belt. If you have any question, don't hesitate to leave it in the message here if you have any question that you would like me to answer. So we go now to Earthdan. Okay. And these are from Titanicus. And yeah, these are, it's a very striking color scheme. This black and red is normally a very striking color. These are quite small miniatures, and doing this check pattern here is also not easy. So it's a very nice, and it's not a straightforward color scheme. Okay, again, here we have the check pattern. And we have this Warden. Yeah, we have a Paladin, Warden, and Errant. So nice combination. They look great. It's a very striking color for this miniature. So nice paint jobs again, and these check patterns are really awesome. Here we have more from Adeptus Titanicus. We have a river and a warlord. The warlord is quite a big one. And here the only thing is, looks like you spend more time on the knights than on the big titans. What makes me curious. For example, you have not put any check pattern on this guy, while you have do check patterns and lines and other things on the Imperial Knights. Wondering why. This is the Horus eye. I don't know if these are from the ones that were with Horus. It's also nice. Again, here you have not added the check pattern anywhere, so I'm curious to know why you have. Looks like you have put more decoration on the knights than on the titans. But so on, they are very nicely painted, so they look great. It's going up. And here we have more from Clayton. Okay. And these are some Sylvaneth and Wood Elves. The thing that made me, yeah, this is a very nice striking force with bright greens and bright blues. And I'm curious to know why so much blue, because yeah, for me, Sylvaneth, I'm more for greens, but a different type of greens, more like a camouflage type of color, but they look really bright. These are quite, yeah, this is a nice force to play Age of Sigmar. Okay, they look very nice. Have more of the caves. And this is the here we can talk. So this is almost done, but here is where we can dedicate some time to look at that. First, the skin. This color scheme is great. The transition of the color very good, and how he have done the veins is excellent. Okay. Then on the metallics, we can see all type of small scratches and damages on the metallics. See if we can have a different angle. He have done the metallics really weathered, very well weathered, making these cracks and so on. And then also for the clothes, he went for this type of leathery color. Very interesting as well. The other thing that is important to the evidence, look the shoulder pad, this rusted effect here, contrasting with the other metallics. So this gives almost to each piece of metal of the armor a different look, making look there are different parts and not just one part of metal, right? So nicely known, especially my favorite part of this model is the skin. I think the skin looks great. He worked very well the highlights, as well as highlighting the veins. So it's an excellent job, and I really I'm very happy that Opi Chaggar is sharing this in my group of Facebook. Thanks for sharing. And thanks for sharing to everybody, because I really enjoy watching as a miniatures of other people and getting ideas. This is from Austin Ripper. Austin Ripper is almost sharing work every month. These are some Necrons with this metallic. The only thing I will say here, okay, you use the wash, but I think the next step that you need to do sometimes is wash better the wash. It sometimes looks like stained. I think the problem of the Necrons is that they have too many flat surfaces, so the wash on flat surfaces, they are not working at the best. So here we have some Demonettes, very interesting color scheme. He went for the Demonettes, and this with flash. It makes a day and night within flash and no flash. I think we talked this about before. Again, here the wash did not work well here when you apply it. You see here is not well defined. Then it's too much here, so you have to work a little bit on the washes. Here the wash have worked better. Here you have this accumulation of wash. This is too much there. Okay, here it goes good. Here is too much. And the armor have worked better. The washes. Then on the skin, sometimes the skin is a little bit stained, so you have to clean up more the wash on the skin, and just be sure that it goes in the recesses. To be fair, the skin of the Demonettes is very bad for washes because they are too smooth. So it's better to if you can work with blending or highlighting. This guy looks much. I like more how this guy looks than Demonettes, and these things here are looking very nice. This type of greenish color, and then the armor. These are the, I guess, Quicks as well. I don't know, but I think they look quite good. And these guys, yeah, I don't know what are these guys, to be fair, but they look quite nice. The other thing here, this white looks too stark on these clothes. Okay, so you have to find a different white, more clean color to highlight here if you want to highlight it, because this white is too much. And if you highlight, try to follow something like that, make something like that to keep, to not make it so stark as it is in here. On the other side, I think the metallics, you have better work than on the clothes, for example. And here the whites have pulled, and then the highlights are too stark. So it's a question of practice, but it's the way to help here is this can be done more with blending. I think it works better. I think maybe I will do some videos on blending for light and close. Here we go back to the icons. Another more paint job from Erdan. These are the Malor, the Blood Warriors with the Fleshhound. I like a lot how he went for the Blood Warrior with this dark metal contrasted with the cooperish color. It's a nice taken. Okay. They look good. And then for this, I like, maybe it's missing some contrast. So it's looking a little bit too flat. Or you can go brighter or darker with this type of things. Okay. But it's a nice paint job anyway. Yeah, I will say I see that you have worked with orange and red on the Fleshhound, but I'm missing some details. I find it too flat. Or maybe it's the picture. And these guys, they look great. And we are done. No, this is the last one from Erdan. This is like an orc totem. And he thinks that he went a little bit of clang off with some additional colors. I see that you like a little. You like the terrain with some bright colors, but it looks great. And I think with that we are done. No, another one from Erdan. These are the Sepulchral Guard. This again, I will say, is too flat and then too stark at the end. While the purple is better, and here you see this oxide is what I was missing in some of the Night Hounds. Okay, this is what I was missing because they also have the weapons quite rust. The bones they won't look excellent, and we have here this rust and as well here. So the rust have to be also on the flat areas and just smoother than in the holes. But we should find this. Wood looks nice. We have, as I said, the rust here looks better. I like more how the weapons are done here than on the Night Hounds. Okay, nice paint jobs. Nice Shadespire Warband. And we are done. So with that, we'll go to the end. So let me see if there is no questions. So that's all what I want to talk here. So I will stop sharing now my screen and go back to camera. And yeah, that's all what I want to share in this video. So this was more to go through the different miniatures shared by the community, shared with me. And yeah, not much to say here. I hope you find this interesting. I hope you have liked this one. And yeah, if you have any other question or comment, leave it in the comments below if you're watching this video later. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, and see you again later. Bye.